Hello YouTube, welcome to this edition of Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. I'm Ronnie Humphrey. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to continue with this aggravating air box, and I think I have a plan. Let's see if it'll work. I knew this air box was going to be an issue from day one because there was pieces missing on the car when we got it. But what I finally decided to do, we're going to go to a smaller element. Instead of the 16, I'm going to go to a 14 inch. It'll seal fine. And we're going to go ahead and trim this here a little bit further back. Then I'm going to cut these wings off on the side here. And we're going to, if I can show you, we're going to mimic this to where this comes out. We're just going to repeat this, and then that'll seal it off on the air box. I had to sleep on it last night for a little while, and I think that's really the only thing I can do. On this side, we'll extend it to be straight. So I think that's low-hanging fruit at this point. Again, the car's not going to be raced. 99% of people look at the car won't know any different. So I just want it to look neat is the main thing. So get this trimmed up, and we'll move on to the next step. All right, got this trimmed off now, and I'll file this down a little bit later. But try to get this on here. Luckily, I have just a little bit of mill finish aluminum left. Okay, that's where that's going to sit. Let's try to roughly figure out about a 6-inch piece, about 2.5. We'll start off with that. Okay, there's our starting piece. So we'll see how if we can get it bent now. We're going to just simply lay out where this first bend is, about right here. And go ahead and put a 90 on it there. I'll use the brake on this. The lip on my brake is not wide enough, so we're just going to hand do this in the vise. Then that gives us our step, what we're looking for right there, so that's fine. Now what I want this to do is overlap this bottom piece, you see, and that's going to be just fine. And then what my thinking is, when we bolt those panels in that we made for the cowl, we'll use the same bolt hole and bolt it all together, and that will be absolutely look trick then. All right, I got this where I want it, and I'm gonna put one more little taper bend right here. So I put just a little bit of a bend here so it'll match the contour of this air box. There we go. I'll tell you what, I'm pretty pleased with that. All right, there you go. We'll put some rivets out here now. We'll just use some little 1/8 inch on those. And I'm gonna come back and trim this and square this up so they'll be the same. Even though you won't be able to see it, it just makes it look better when it's off. Now those will be parallel. Okay, let's see if we can get a couple of rivets in here. and see what happens. All right. How about that? Now I'll be able to tie in this back piece. We'll loop around and it'll all go together as one piece on this when we raise this back side up here. I'm very pleased how that turned out, and that looks better now. We're going to go to this smaller filter, and that's will give us more room in the air box, make it look more legitimate. Now we'll just repeat the same thing on this side that we did over here. And I won't bore you with the details, but I'll get this bent up real quick on this side, and we'll see how it looks when it gets done. Then we'll come back and we'll put this panel across the back. We got this piece here bent now, and got it where I like it. So we'll just repeat the same thing we did on the other side. Put our duck bills in here to hold it tight. Tighten it up just a hair. It's amazing how sometimes you just gotta stop on a project and then come back, look at it a little while later, and it all comes to you then. Okay. I like it. Okay, now we will figure out what to do on this back. Let me go about 22 and a half. I am so thankful I had this piece of mill finish. This is the last piece I think I've got. I know I may need some more. All right, let's see if we can shear this. There we go. Then we'll put our 90s on the edges and wrap it around. Down. So I'll make sure I do this in the right direction. I'm gonna put the 90s in it first, just in case if I don't have to roll it. We'll probably go ahead and put 5 total back here. I'll tell you what, I am pretty tickled about this. That should be it. Let's go in there and locate our holes on the outside now. And man, that should be a wrap. I'm gonna get the wing nut on here tight. Pull everything down to operating position. With our cowl panels out, now you can see we'll just simply drill a hole through there. And what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a nut insert in there for a 1/4" nut insert on each side, and that will tie everything together. We'll put a nut insert there, and everything will be locked down tight. The final piece will be the insert that goes in, because it uses Zeus fasteners and fastens here on each side. That's a pretty tricky piece. We may make it in 2 separate pieces to hide some of this, but anyway, this filler panel, say, will be Zeus fastened in right here on the kid. Then there'll be a real nice hole. Then everything will look a lot better then. So, alrighty, there you go. Well, I had to go to a funeral, unfortunately. One of my cousins passed away, and when I left, Buddy was starting on the body. The good thing is he's got all this now on the top done, the fender. We've got one of these panels here kind of roughed in, and we had to bring this fender up here a pretty good bit in order to get this where this would match, so it looks real good. He's probably brought this up probably a good 1/4 inch, so it looks real good. So we'll get to this cowl panel here, and we're going to build that insert that goes in there, and we will be pretty good shape. Well, that wraps up another exciting episode of Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. Thanks for joining us today. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that like button, and that notification bell, and tell your friends about the channel if you haven't done so already. We're going to be back next time. We'll continue working on this car, but we are making great strides, and it's coming along slowly but surely. Have a fantastic rest of your day. We'll see you next time on Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. God bless you. Take care.